I looked at my poor sister. She looked at me. We didn't say a word. There was no word to be said. She was dying. This strange ice, a side effect from magical food, was bringing the end of Emma's life. It had been killing her body, slowly freezing her to death. The ice had covered all of her body except her face. Now it had covered her forehead and was approaching her eyes. "Emma, take your last look, then close your eyes," I said. "David, no," she protested, clearly hyperventilating at the idea. "It's better to not have your eyes frozen open. That would only hurt more. Just close them." With a tear falling, she looked at me one more time. I looked at her brown-colored eyes, trying to sear the memory into my mind. I told myself I would never forget the look of her eyes. Finally, she closed her eyes, letting go of the last time she saw this world. I think she tried to open her eyes again, hoping that the ice had not covered them, but the ice had sealed over her eyes. She began to freak out. "David, please, David, I want to die. David, please, please," she cried. It hurt me to see her like this. I kept my eyes on her, not wanting to miss her last moments. "It's okay, Emma, don't be scared," I tried to calm her. "David, I'm scared, David. I'm not going to see you again," she cried. I put my finger on her lips, which was the only part of her not covered by the ice left. "Quiet, Emma. Let your last moments be ones of peace." Luckily, she began to calm down. I removed my finger. "David, tell Mom that I love her, will you? Please tell her that." "I will, Emma, I promise," I said, trying not to choke up. "David, also I love..." She stopped. I looked closer. Now her lips were covered in the ice. Now her entire body was covered in ice. That was it. She was gone. I don't know how long I stared at her, refusing to accept the reality around me. After a few moments, I broke my stare. I looked away, my emotions dead. My thoughts were dead. Nothing happened. I thought nothing. I felt nothing. I understood nothing. Then, like a flood, reality crashed in on me. My thoughts thought about her death. My eyes began to flood. In moments, I was on the ground crying over her dead body. "Emma, please, don't leave me here. I can't be alone. Please, Emma, break through the ice. I don't want to be alone. Don't want to..." Despite my cries, she was stuck in the ice. Nothing changed. Nothing moved. My tears were really flowing now. My nose began to run. I didn't even care. Nothing could stop my thoughts. I immediately began to blame myself. It was my pride that caused this. Only if I wasn't so angry at her, I could have saved her. I could have saved her. I was this close to saving her. If only I had treated her differently, she would still be with me. I began to miss her talks about nature. Yes, I know. That was the thing that annoyed me, but it was also the thing that defined her. I decided to love nature from now on, in memory of Emma. I would love everything from nature to honor Emma. My mind suddenly turned to Mother. I failed her. I let her own daughter die. How could I ever tell Mother about this? It is impossible. I can't do it. The perspective scene played in my mind as I shook my head as I imagined telling Mom that she is dead. Not only this, but I would have to tell my father about the situation. I would be the messenger to tell him that his only daughter had died on a hiking trip. My mind was gone. I couldn't think anything. Nothing made sense. I could feel nothing. Nothing was real. Time was irrelevant. I don't even know how long I was there, crying over Emma's frozen body. At some point, I had fallen asleep, my crying exhausting me. One of my final thoughts was how I remembered that I had once stood on the glacier. According to this, I was about to freeze up and soon die. Oh well, I thought. At least I could join Emma in death. I didn't care that the ice could also kill me. I closed my eyes, not expecting to wake up again. "David, wake up," cried a voice. I opened my eyes. Huh? What's going on? Before me, I saw Emma. "Emma, am I dead?" I asked. "No, David. The world is not what you think it is." My eyes began to tear up. Was this real? I must be dreaming. Emma, however, stood up and pulled me onto my feet. "What is your question, my brother?" I just hugged her. confirming that she wasn't just a hallucination. I have so many questions. How are you alive? This was never a process of death. I never died. Remember what Tomas said? If I stood in the ice, I would gain more powers. The process covers you in ice and puts your body in a state identical to death. Your heart stops and your brain stops working, but you don't actually die. Now I have received all the magic from the magical food that we ate, she explained. How do you know this? Well, she said, the ice silently yet powerfully communicated this to me. See, this ice has magical abilities, so while I was gone, I learned everything about the magic. So will I have to go through this process? I stepped on the ice when I tried to save you. Not exactly. When I stepped on the ice, I took all the magical abilities from the ice. So no, you will not go through the same process as I did. But remember what Tomas said? You will still go through a process. However, it will be with a form of extreme heat, like fire instead of ice. You will end up with the abilities at the end of this process. The conversation paused for a moment. I tried to take this in. It started to make sense. When did Tomas ever say that the magic would kill us? Instead, he said it would give us more magic. I started to feel embarrassed at my fear that we would all die. That was never part of the magic. Anyways, Emma interrupted my thoughts. Enough of this seriousness. Do you want to see something cool that I can do? Sure, I said, not certain what she was about to do. She closed her beautiful eyes. She then opened her eyes. Her pupils were no longer black, but snow white. It was creepy. Her skin also turned pale white. Emma, that is freaky. Yeah, she said, her voice sounding cold. She then blinked her eyes and returned to normal. All I have to do is decide to transform and blink my eyes. While I'm in this alternate form, I am resistant to any form of cold. I could be in a blizzard in the Arctic, but if I'm in my alternate form, I won't feel cold a bit. My mind whirled at the strangeness of this idea. She really has gained magic. It's such a strange idea. But then again, it wasn't as strange as another idea. Another idea that I thought was more impossible. It was the fact that Emma was alive. Not only alive, but better than ever. What am I going to tell my parents?